I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. We got it on the first try. Nice.
Finally.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So we're just gonna wait a couple of more minutes to allow a few, some more people to come in. So
oh,
those of you who are joining, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Let me know your name and where you're tuning in from, so I can personally say hello. Is that Shantae? Hey, Shantae. I'm real bad with pronouncing names, guys. So if I pronounce your name wrong,
do you know
please.
that mine is Lene?
Lene. Okay, yeah, Lene. Girl, I've been saying that wrong all day.
I still love you.
Thank you. Guys, thank you for joining us on tonight. We just want to give just a couple of more minutes for people to join because we're starting a little late. Hey, Mercedes from Nevada. Okay, okay. Vegas is one of my favorite towns. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. So
Hey,
yeah,
Mercedes.
yeah. Leave your name and where you tuning in from in the comment section below so we can say hello to you guys personally. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to join us on tonight.
Yes.
We really, really appreciate it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Desra. Hey, Desra. Hey, bro. Hey. Let me know if I'm saying your name right.
Hi, brother. That's my brother at the
Ah,
bottom.
I love it when family comes in to support. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And he can hear me too. He's in the next room.
Nice, nice. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on tonight. I'm super excited to do this interview with you guys tonight. If you are watching us on the replay, go ahead. Let me know your name and where you tuning, where you watching this
Hey,
from, because I can still
sister.
shout you out in the comment section.
Sister.
Hey, Shantae. I can still shout you out in the comment section. So thank you everybody for tuning in. So, to me for the very first time, my name is LaKitia. I am your sister coach and also the founder of A Sister's Truth. And here at Sister's Truth, I help women to manifest a courageous life without limits by helping them to discover, define, and live their truth. And in the month of August, I've been doing an interview series called Living Her Truth because in my coaching practice, I'm all about sharing my testimonies, sharing my wins and my personal losses with my clients because this is how I create that sisterly bond with my clients so they can open up to me some of the deepest, darkest fears, and so I can help them journey through their fears. And so I'm 100% believe that it's important for us to share our testimonies so we can help someone else out, right?
Right,
Because the Bible
right,
says there's absolutely nothing new up under the sun, right?
right.
So if someone is going through, you know, their despair, how would they know there's a light at the end of the tunnel if we're not sharing our personal experiences and our personal testimonies with our fellow sisters and brothers, right? So they can lean a
Right.
little harder on their faith and come up out of their situation, right? So that's why it's important for us to share our story. Now, if you know me, okay, because a couple of you guys on here do, if you know me, you know I love a good come up story. Okay, I love a good come up story. I.e., the reason why I'm doing this interview series. And on tonight, I am interviewing Lene. And Lene and I met like 8 months ago now.
Yes. At
Yeah,
my
we met
very
like,
first book event.
yeah, yeah. That was, I don't know about you, but that was crazy for me because my book had just came out at the
Mine
time.
just came out too.
Yes,
Mine
like
had
a
just
month and a
dropped
half
too.
earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lene and I met at a author showcase, actually, where we talked about our books and we just clicked. She's
Yes.
cool in the fan, you guys. She's cool in the fan. So I can't wait to get into this conversation with Lene on tonight. So as you're coming in, please leave your name and where you tuning in from in the comment section below so we can shout you out. If you have any questions, leave those in the comment section as well because we will definitely be answering questions throughout this interview as well. So, Lene, tell us a little bit about who you are and your brand.
Okay, well, my name is Lene Lagarde. I am the mother of two beautiful kids, Alexis and Jamil. I am a mentor, I'm an author, and I will soon be a founder of my own women and children's shelter. This is my
What?
amazing book right here,
Yes.
and that's who I am. That's me.
Congratulations on the women's and children's shelter.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. You got to
Thank
keep
you.
me posted on that because I'm all
It's,
over that. Whatever you need, definitely keep me posted on that.
it's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
Okay.
It
So have you
has been a
started?
lot of work.
So have you already started the process?
I'm learning the ins and outs, and I'm going to different workshops to learn how to run it successfully.
Yeah, that's
So,
awesome. That's
and it's
awesome.
a lot, but they're trying to scare me and say, no, don't do it. I'm going to do it anyway. Like, I have to do it. It comes with a lot.
Now, why people want to try to scare somebody out of their dream? Like, why
Exactly.
people try to do that? I'm gonna
Understand.
leave it down.
They don't understand. But I'm going to do it anyway.
Yes, please do because it is so needed. You have
Yes.
no idea. Like, yeah, you have no idea. Something happened last night. Yeah, you have no idea. We don't even have time to go into that tonight. But
Right.
just know that you're onto something and it's absolutely needed. A women and children's shelter is absolutely needed.
Yes.
So here at A Sister's Truth, I'm all about self-awareness because
Hmm.
self-awareness is the key to a purpose driven life. And the way that we tap into, who we are is by discovering, defining, and living our truth. Those are the three different stages that we all go through on our journey to purpose. Now, these stages, hey Donna, hey girl, hey. Now, these stages are not something that I just pull out of the air because they sound good together. No,
Right.
these are stages that I pull from my personal journey because to get to the place where I am right now, I had to discover who I was. I
Right.
had to define my truth and then I had to live it out, right?
Right.
Because you just can't just know and do nothing, but you have
Right.
to actually live in your purpose, right? And it's a whole journey. And so on tonight, we're going to focus on living in our truth, right?
Yeah.
And to live in our truth means to have the courage to embrace all aspects of who we are, the good and the bad, all aspects of who we are, and present that person to the world. Now,
Right.
in theory, that sounds really good, right?
Right.
Sounds really good, sounds really easy, but it's not because
Not
people struggle with being who they are every single day. Every single
yet.
day. And that's another reason why we're here talking about it on tonight, just sharing our stories so other people can just feel more comfortable in their own skin, right?
Right.
So in your opinion, Lene, tell us, why is it important to live in your truth?
Well, to me, it's important because if you don't live in your truth, it will come back and hunt you later on in life. And to me, I was running from my truth, like trying to cover it up. Like everyone
Mm,
knows me as this smiley face person, always happy, goofy. But deep down inside, I was battling with demons in myself from not forgiving not forgiving myself for allowing people to do me wrong when I knew that the people meant me no good, but I still allowed them in my space. So I didn't deal with that, and I didn't forgive myself, and years and years and years passed, and I just really
mm,
hated myself on the inside, but on the outside, I was good. So it's important to live your truth and deal with the things that are affecting you right then and there, and don't
yeah,
wait till 6 and 7 years later to try to fight whatever it is. So it's important to live your truth. And
yeah,
it's like a weight just lifted off of me when I decided to accept I made all these mistakes in life, and now I just got to accept it
yeah,
and move on. God forgave me. Why can't I forgive myself? So once I forgave myself and I began to, this is who I am. I love who I am. And there's only
yeah,
one me, and I love me. So once I gave myself the love that I give to everybody else, then I
mm,
can honestly say I'm now walking in my truth.
mm. That's amazing. I can relate on so many different levels. I think we all have demons that, we all battle with at some point, along our journeys. For me, if you know my story, you know that I was sexually abused by my stepfather for 8 years. So coming up out of that, that was a demon that I needed to battle. And therapy
Mhm.
helped me with that. And if I, I had to acknowledge that, and I had to
Mhm.
deal with that in order to move forward. So being a survivor of sexual abuse is something that I share
Mhm.
candidly, because I know that it's, unfortunately, it's an epidemic. You
Yes.
know, it's just happening. What are some of the demons that you face, Lene, if you don't mind? You know.
Oh, I have dealt with depression has been my main demon. Once after Hurricane Katrina, I lost my
Mm,
grandfather. And so he
mm,
was like my best friend, my go-to person. He was the person who kept everything together in my head to me. So he
mm,
was my peace. He was my everything. And I lost him. And then I ended up giving birth to my son, but I wasn't ready to live life without him. So that's one demon that followed me for a long time till I was able to accept that I need to depend on God, not so much a human, but God was my go-to person. And I missed that because I was too clingy
yeah.
to my grandfather. I dealt with being homeless. I dealt with being a single mother, bad relationships, abandonment issues, um,
Mm.
things of that nature. Just not even believing in myself. I felt worthless. I was around people who made me feel worthless.
Mm. Mm. I can definitely relate to that too. Um, my mission with AST is to help women embrace change, right? Because in order for personal growth to happen, we have to embrace change. And one of the things that we may need to change is the people and the places,
Yes.
right? And people was a huge factor for me, and place was too, because I grew up in Chicago,
Mm.
and after high school, I just felt like I just needed to get out of Chicago. I had to go because I felt
Mhm.
like literally, I felt like if I would stayed in Chicago, I would have died. Now, that's not me being, over exaggerating or anything like that. Like literally, I thought if I stayed in Chicago, I
Mhm.
would die. So I had to get out of there, and I had to stop, hanging around with not just the people that I was hanging around, but the type of people, because you know just because I'm gonna make up a name, just because I'm not, hanging out with Sarah in Chicago doesn't mean that I
Mhm.
can't find another Sarah in Minnesota.
That's
So I had
right.
to stop hanging around a certain type
Right.
of
Yes.
people. So yeah, so there's some things that has to change. Like you have to embrace change. And I
Yes.
can also, relate to you too of losing someone really, really close to you, because my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, was somebody that I lost at an early age, and I miss her dearly. And one of the things that she instilled in me is to not say the word can't.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, every time she told me to do something, I would say, I can't do that. It could be something simple, like, I don't know, go get that cup off the table. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that. And my grandmother would say, can't is not a word. And then she
Right.
would make me do that thing I said I could not do. So
Mhm.
that simple, lesson. It was a lesson that I was being taught, and I didn't even realize it at the
Right.
time,
Mhm.
because I was a spoiler, bratty kid. So, having that support system, like, yes, we do need to, lean on God because He's the source of our strength. But that
Right.
support system, is undeniable for
Right.
sure. For sure. How was you able to start to just love yourself and work through your self-worth issues, Lene?
Well, I was on Facebook one day. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
added me to a women empowerment group. And I guess from
Mm.
the comments, we were sharing like testimonies with each other. And the one lady jumped in my inbox and she said, "I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I really like your responses. Can I coach you?" And I was like, in my head,
Mm.
I was like, I mean, for what? Like, nothing wrong with me. I'm good. And she was
Yeah.
like, "I just want to give you like 2 free sessions, and if you don't like me, then that's fine." So
Uh-huh.
she called me every day. We talked, and she asked me this very question. She said, "Do you love yourself?" And I said, "Yeah,
Mm.
why would you ask me that?" She said, "I'm going to ask you again. Do you really love yourself?" And I thought about it, and I said, "No, I do not." And she said, "I see
Wow.
that." And we just spiraled from there. She asked me about my childhood. She asked me
Mm-hmm.
about my relationships with men, period, whether
Mm-hmm.
father, grandfather, or
Yeah.
men I date. And so I just broke down everything to her, and she was like, you can write as many books as you want, you can do whatever you want, but if you don't change your negative mindset, you wasting your time. And so she befriended me, and she got me to see things from a bigger perspective. And
Mm-hmm.
once she did that, I was like, I didn't know I had all that built inside of me. And I just cried and cried and
Wow.
cried and cried. Then I started journaling, and then the
Mm-hmm.
pills just started peeling back. And then I
Mm-hmm.
started to love myself and figure out who this beautiful person was in the inside. And
Yeah.
so from this lady that I met, all we did was Skype. I never even met her in person. And
Wow.
I thanked her so much. And she was like, I knew you can do it. She was like, thank you for trusting me because you didn't even know me.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I trusted her, and she helped pull back them layers. And now I'm like, I thank her so much because I probably still would have thought nothing was wrong with me. I'm good. I don't need your help. Of course, I love myself. That's stupid. But no, she was
Mm-hmm.
right. So I thank God for her.
Yeah. I went to last year. I went to a Lisa Nichols event, and um, she said something at that event that describes that lady, and she was an earth angel. I
Aw.
truly think she was that lady that helped you out was an earth angel. We all have earth angels, and when people offer to help, it's so important that we take them up on that offer,
Mhm.
right? Because
I
because you
had 10
just
different people ask, but I went with her. It was just something about her.
something
10
about
people
her.
asked, yeah, 10 people asked, can I coach you? And it was
Mm-hmm.
just her that just grabbed me, and she was like, I have to coach you. And she was a lot cheaper than everybody else, but she gave me the free trial, and it just
Yeah.
made me
Yeah.
see that what she really can do. And out of the 10 people, I went with her because it was just something about her that I liked. And she stayed
Yeah.
on. She did some wonders.
But Lene, you said yes though, and that's the most important and the hardest thing is that you
Yeah.
said yes. You was able to get the help that you needed. When I first went to Clark University, in my first semester at Clark University, I saw an ad in a newspaper, in a school newspaper, and it was for speakers for a group called Youthful Survivors. And so I joined this group because I wanted to speak on awareness of sexual abuse. And
Hmm.
so the organizer of that group, after my very first speaking engagement, right, I didn't know what I was doing. I just went up there and I just started talking. And that was my first time really just talking about what I went through. And
Hmm.
so I just started talking, 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 talking. And she said, after that speaking gig, she knew that I needed help. So
Hmm.
she offered to purchase, therapy sessions for me. Now I could have said no,
Right.
right? I could have said no, but I was just like, okay, fine, whatever. Because I was indifferent about it. I was just like, well, she gonna pay for it, so
Right.
whatever.
Why not?
Like that was my attitude. But I'm just so glad that I said yes because I was able to get the help that I needed, to just get through that situation and actually heal from it.
Right.
Forgiveness, because you talked about hating yourself earlier. Like I went through that period too, and forgiveness is key. Is
Yes.
key. To really tap into your self-awareness so you can live a purpose-driven life. So Lene, tell us, how do you pick yourself up when life happens, right? Because you mentioned earlier that you battled with depression. So when you
Hmm.
find yourself in that place, how do you, pick yourself up and move forward and just try to stay in a positive place?
I have to drop to these knees
Yes,
and
girl.
spend time with the Father and let him know what's going on up here. Like,
Yes.
I need help right now. This is going on. That, I just vent to him because I feel like he's the only person that can help me. I can call other people, but they're just going to listen. He's going to actually do
Yeah.
something about it. So I get to the point where I just spend time with him, or I write in my journal a lot. That's another way for me to vent. So I write in my journal, or I'll go with a friend of mine, Miss Pat. She likes to go to all these networking events. So she'll get me around people that's either where I am or further.
Yeah.
And so that's another
Yeah.
thing that take me out of my comfort zone and make me feel a little bit more better than I did before.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I'm so glad you said that because I truly believe that we need to do something every single day. Mental
Hmm.
care is self care. For those
Yes.
of you who are listening to me, mental care is self care. And we should do something every single day that is going to help us to have a positive, healthy mindset. And if that means being around people, who are supportive and who are on levels that you are striving to, then do that. If that means going in your prayer closet and saying a prayer, then I'm gonna need you to do that. If that means taking 5 minutes just to breathe, just breathe.
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to do that as well. Or journal, like Lene said. Journaling
Yes.
is awesome as well. Now I don't like write down. I journal, but I don't write. I have a voice journal where I just
Oh,
talk because sometimes when I'm in my car, I just need to let it out.
right, right,
I
right,
can't write it at that time.
right.
So I
That
actually
is true.
have a voice journal.
That's what I need. Where you got that from?
An app, girl, it's an app for everything.
But yeah, I need that.
Yeah. I can send you, it's called Voice Diary. I can send you a
Okay.
screenshot of it after we get off. But that's
Okay.
something that I use as well. And
Yes.
shameless plug, my
Yes.
book, 31 Days of Truth, Manifest Your Passion, Power, and Perseverance.
Yes.
Because for 31, every day for 31 days, I'm talking about a different common, life issue and struggle that we all go through, right?
Yes.
And then at the end of each day, you have space where you can write down your
That's
thoughts,
awesome.
your truth for the day. And this is my book, you guys, because I don't sell y'all something that I don't use.
I know that's
Okay?
right.
This is my book. All right. So mental care is self-care. So definitely want to take time every single day to focus on, creating and maintaining a positive, healthy mindset.
Yes.
So Lene, can you share with us a piece of advice? That's hey, who's that? Hey Leah, thank you for joining, girl. So Lene, can you share with us one piece of advice, whether it was positive or negative, that um, shaped your life and shaped who you are? Because, positive or negative, because sometimes people's negative opinions, you know.
Yeah, well, I'll start with the negative turn positive. So I've had so many people from the negative side. So I dated this guy, and
Okay.
he was like, "You always say something you don't mean, and you always say
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna do stuff. You start stuff and you don't finish." He was telling the truth. I used to say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but I never did it. So he would nag at me and just pick with me and just made me feel, excuse me, so small at the end of the day. So
Mm-hmm.
once we stopped talking, I started
Mm-hmm.
writing more, put my book out, and it was more of a kind of like a I need to show him because he kept saying I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I had to prove to him and to myself that I can't just always say things. I have to put action behind it. So the negative, I
Mm-hmm.
took the
Mm-hmm.
negative, and then I heard, "Oh, you're not gonna sell no books. Don't nobody know you. Um, you're not famous. You're not talking about gossip. Don't nobody want to hear about your life." And I still put the book out, and it's doing wonderful. As a matter of fact, I even
Good for
have a
you.
movie about to be made out of it. So I'm
Wait
glad that I put.
a minute. Wait a minute.
So I took that
You
next.
wait. You can't just roll on over that. You can't just throw that out there on us like that. Wait
Yes,
a minute. You didn't tell me about the movie, girl.
yes, I have a movie being
What?
written right now. We're writing it right now.
So I can play Lene? Can I know
Sure,
something in this?
sure.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
Thank
That is so
you.
awesome. I'm sorry. I cut you off. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, so I just took all the negative talk. I didn't just start
Mm-hmm.
from the positive part and everybody was saying, cheering me on. It was the negative things that stuck with me. Instead of me having this awesome pity party, I just was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I'm going to take it and I'm going to pray about it. And
Mm-hmm.
I just asked God to order my steps, and He did just that. I was not
Mm-hmm.
expecting a movie. I wasn't expecting a book.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Mm.
expecting to work in the medical field for the rest of my
Mm.
life. But that's not so. It's not what happened. So when
Mm.
I asked him to order my stuff, that's what he did. And this is where I am now. And even at this
Oh,
moment, sometimes I feel like, are you sure this is what you want me to do? Because
yeah.
my season, it'll be good and then it'll die out a little bit. So now,
Yeah.
right now, to this day, I'm at my regrouping right now. So I'm
Uh-huh.
journaling and I'm praying and saying, okay, now what? What do you want me to do now? So I see the end part, but I'm trying to get, you don't see the way to the end. So it's kind of like, I feel kind of like, am I going the right way? Should I do this? Should I do that? Or do I just wait? And most of the time is you just wait. But you
Yeah.
want to go ahead because you was having such a good month. Like last month was awesome. This month was a little slower, but I'm regrouping this month.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
may take off next month. Who knows? So you just wait.
Wow.
I'm learning
We,
to wait.
girl, you
Waiting
you
don't
you just
always
said
feel
so much.
good. Thanks,
You just said
Jamie.
you just said so much. You're gonna have to come back and do a part. You're gonna have to come back and do a part two.
All right.
Lady J says, thank you, ladies, for doing this for live. You are so welcome. And I'm just that comment right there is the reason why
Thank
I'm
you.
doing this.
Thank you.
So I'm doing this live. Like Lene, you said, oh my God, you said so much. Where do I start? Like, first off, you know, moving in silence was something that I had to
Yes.
master as well,
Yes.
because sometimes you have to do things on a low low, and it ain't
Yes.
about you just being sneaky. But when
Yes.
you the person who is doing something different from what everybody else is doing, sometimes you just need to just
Yes.
move in silence to avoid that negative chatter.
You have to move in silence because then some people will
You
talk
have
you out of
to.
what you're doing. If
They
I
will
listen to
talk
the,
you
oh, what
out
if you
of
don't
it.
sell no books? What if this? My dad said, if I got to buy all
Right.
the books, don't worry, I'll buy them.
I know
But
that's
it's
right.
doing good. So I'm glad that I put it out. I'm glad I didn't listen
Yes.
to people saying the negativity things. But
Yes.
he put me in isolation because I was like, I don't have no friends. I don't nobody not around. Where's everybody at? And it was my isolation time because I don't want
Yes,
nobody to
honey.
distract you from what I have you doing. So
Yes. Girl, you over here preaching to now. Before preaching right now. Before we get into isolation, I want to back up for a second and go back to what you said earlier about you said you didn't have a plan for a book. You didn't have a plan for a movie. You were supposed to be working in the medical field. Some
yep,
of you who are watching this video right now, you need to abandon your plan. You
yes,
need to just give it up, because the plans you have is not aligned with the plan that God has for your life. You need to let it go. You're
yep,
not moving and growing to that next level because you are so bent on the plan that you have created for your life
hmm,
that you don't even know what God has created for you. Lene said she was supposed to be in the medical field. This girl got a book and a movie coming out on her life. She couldn't even imagine that.
nope.
Come on.
He said
So
you
what
got
if
this
she
big God.
said, I'm
You
just
got
going
this
to
big
continue
God.
down this medical path? Right. Like, come on, you guys. You have to move in silence. You need
Yes,
to abandon your plan sometime and ask God to direct your path, because that's
yes,
what he did for her. And then you may have to go into isolation. Girl, that's good. You may have to go into isolation because God's
yes.
going to be doing some things for you that he's not doing for everybody else at the moment.
That's right.
Your purpose is different from everybody else's.
Yes,
So
it
if your
is.
purpose doesn't look like everybody else's, then guess what? That's okay.
Yes.
So you may need to be isolated. I truly feel that when God took me from Chicago to Minnesota to Atlanta to Texas, it's because he needed to move me. He
Yep.
needed to get me by myself,
Yes.
because he
And
needed
people
to do
do
some
it.
things in me, just like he doing some things in you.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I hope you guys are catch the replay, because this went over somebody's head. I'm gonna need you to watch the replay. I'm gonna need you to watch the replay, because this girl said, I'm gonna give up the medical field because I got a book and a movie about my life that's about to come out.
Yes. I had no idea. I wanted to be an
No idea.
RN.
She couldn't even commit. She couldn't even imagine that for her life.
Nope. And he said,
We have
you
no
got
idea
this
what
big
God
old
has.
God, and we think so
No
small.
idea what He has in store for us. We have
Mm-hmm.
no idea. All we need to do is just sit back and be obedient. And guess what? It is going to be hard.
Oh,
It's
yes.
going to be
It has
hard.
been horrible,
It's going to be hard. But this
but it's
is
worth
why your
it.
sister coach is doing these interviews for you.
Yes. It has
Right?
been very hard. Like, I,
Uh-oh, uh-oh. Lene, can you hear me?
uh-huh.
Okay, you went out for a second. Let's see. Lady JP says, I'm just so happy for your success. Wow, you are awesome, Lene. Let him
Thank you,
order your steps,
Jamie.
Lene. You're moving in the right direction. Yes, she is. She
Thank
is
you so
definitely
much.
moving in the right direction.
Yes.
So Lene, I know you talked about, you probably touched on this just a little bit, but I want you to go into details. Like, how hard was it to do what it is that you're doing, like writing your book? Like, how hard was it to write your book and to get this movie deal?
Well, to write the book, so the guy, he broke up with me on my birthday. So I was hurt. So I wrote,
Mm,
no, but it was on purpose because God already told me he was a distraction. And I kept
mm,
sneaking them back like God wasn't going to know that we was back together. So I guess this very last time he was like, no, I'm going to shut it down for real this time. So once my
yeah.
birthday came, he broke up with me through a text message. And I was so angry. So I'm venting to God, letting him know what's going on, as if he don't already know what's going on. So him being the father that he is, he listening, but he like, I did it on purpose because you wasn't going to leave him. So I took this pen, I took my notepad on the phone, I wrote on any and everything, and I went to writing and writing and writing and writing. And then I was like, I'm going to put the book out. And I was like, Lord, are you sure you want me to put this out? Because I'm saying some really deep stuff, and I don't know how people are going to accept it. And he was like, no, put the book out. So then the company claimed that they lost the original copy because the guy quit that was writing the book. So I was like, you know what? That's a sign for me not to put the book out. You know what, God? I'm not putting this book out because they lost it, and I was all upset. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, calm down first. And then I woke up around 2 o'clock in the morning and I started writing. I said, you know what, Lord, tell me what you want me to say. Because perhaps whatever I said in the first copy, it wasn't what you wanted me to say, or I left out something. So
Yeah.
instead of me just sending them a copy because I had it on the flash drive, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
resend it. I rewrote half of it. So
Girl,
I
stop.
just sat up there and I just wrote. And I said, oh, that sounds good. Oh, I like the way you said that. So I turned it in. They was crying and they were like, "This is amazing." I was like, "But it's too short." They said it doesn't matter how long it is. You start from start to finish. You laying it out on the table and you got to the point, and that's it. You can have a long book, but not talking about anything. And so I felt better once that
Message. You can have a long book and not talk about nothing. So all my,
nothing.
you know, authors who's writing books and ain't got it out yet.
You could talk about
I
nothing.
need you to go ahead and get it out, my aspiring authors. Go ahead,
So
Lene.
I was so happy, I read it and then I was like, you know what? So this was the copy. I could have easily resent it because I had it.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yeah.
think I left out a few things. And then a couple of things wasn't that important that was in the first copy. So I put it out and it was a hit. And so then I'm in a mentoring group called Civil Society. And he know everybody that know everybody. So we come together once a month, and every time he meets somebody that do films or anything, he introduced me to him. So I was getting ready to leave, and he introduced me to this young lady named Amber. He said, "You know what? Amber do movies, Lene write books. I want you guys to meet each other." And she picked up the book, and she was like, "Oh my God, I want to do this." So I was like, "Well, I don't have no money." She said, "Okay, so if the book good enough, I'll fund it myself." So she read the book, and she said, "I'm gonna call you within a week." So I was so nervous. I'm like, "Lord, I don't have no money. I don't know where I'm gonna get the money from." So she called me and said, "I'm gonna fund it." So we've been writing. We meet every couple weeks, and we get together and we write the script, and it's gonna be amazing. Amazing.
That is awesome. That is awesome. When I tell you there's nothing too big that God can't handle,
Nope.
there's nothing too big. You said you didn't have no money to fund this movie. And
Nope.
this woman said, I got you. I'm
I
gonna
had
fund
just
it.
met her. I met her that Saturday. We were meeting that Monday.
Wow. That is amazing. This is a prime example of what happens when you're obedient
Hmm.
and you move in fear. Because Lene said that it was scary. She said it. She said it
Yeah.
was scary, but she moved in fear anyway, and she was obedient. How many of us
Thank
out
you.
there are too scared to make a move? Who are too scared to send an email? Who are too scared to go to a networking event? Who are too
I'll
scared to
go
pick
to
up the
like
phone
two
and
or
call
three of them a
somebody?
week. Like I go to two or three networking events a week and meet everybody, some of
We
everybody.
have we have to move in fear. We have to be obedient and we have to move in fear. We have to, guys. I hope you guys are hearing this and picking this up. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you Mercedes said, congratulations, Lene. If you
Thank
guys have
you.
questions for Lene, this is the time. Ask your questions, because we are here to help you. So Lene, with everything that you have going on, you have the book, you have the movie, you have two kids,
Yeah,
and you about to put together, you about to start a
my
shelter
shelter.
for women and children.
And I
How do you
volunteer
find
at shelters
harmony?
now. I don't
What'd you
know.
say?
I say, and I volunteer at women's shelters and I mentor. So I
And
don't,
you mentor and you volunteer.
yeah. I just like to stay busy because if I'm not busy, then I'll go to just whining like, why this not happening? Why da da da. So I keep so busy.
Yeah. So how do you find harmony with all of that going on? How do you find harmony?
I'll take a rest day every now and then.
Okay.
I'll go hang out with the kids. Like my mom is in town now, so we just came from
Okay.
dinner, so I was late. But I do things. I hang out with the kids, or I hang out with my best friend Nikki. But I try to make. It's important to make time for yourself as well. I don't want to get too wrapped up
Mhm.
in what I'm doing, and then when I finally get to the movie to start filming, I'm wore out already. Or when I get to the shelter,
Mhm.
I'm wore out. So I do find time for myself to do something, go to the movies or out to eat or hang out with the kids. At least once or twice a week, I do find time for myself. But I love to keep going because I want to keep the momentum going. Because me, if I take a break, then it's hard to jump back in and get started. So I do attend like two or three networking events on Eventbrite. I'll just look on there and see what's
Yeah.
going on. And I show up by myself. I meet a couple people. I may need them, or somebody else may need them, or they may want to learn how to write a book, or we just exchange information. I build these friendships because they're important. I may need them, they may need me, or they may know somebody who need me to speak at an event or something. So build that
Offline, I have a couple of events that you may be interested in. I got a friend who does a Black author workshop, writers
up.
workshop, and she has one coming up in September. I think it would be amazing for you to go and just
Thank
lend your
you.
support, to the aspiring authors. And then I have a friend who has a nonprofit, and she has an event coming up in October. But we'll talk about all that
Are you going to the
after
one
we
on the
get offline.
22nd of next month? The secret book
Yeah.
club? That's my son's
No, which one?
birthday.
Which one?
The one
Which
on
one?
the secret, the one we met at. They having another event September 22nd.
No, no, I'm going to a different one on September 22nd. Are you
Oh,
going?
it was my son's birthday.
Oh, he's a Libra. He's a good boy. I'm on my birthday's the 28th. He's a Libra, so
He is a good boy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I already know because us Libras, we just good like that.
Oh, my
But
mom's a
no, the
Libra
secret.
too.
Oh, really?
But the one who
Really?
broke up with me on my birthday is a Libra too.
Oh, Lord.
Now he's still a
He
good
don't count.
person. He's a good
He
person.
he,
He's just not good for me.
there you go.
He's a
Because
good
I was about to
person.
talk about
He's a good person. He just not. He wasn't fit for my purpose. I'm gonna just put it that way.
him.
He didn't fit for my
Okay.
purpose.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Some people along our journey we had to, Let them fall to the wayside. Can't take everybody with you,
Yep.
and that's okay.
Only for a season.
That's
That's
completely
it.
okay. So, Lene, we already know what's next. The movie. Are you gonna
Yeah.
write another book? What else you got going
I
on
am.
besides the
I
movie and the
actually
book?
have another book that I want to put out, but my weakness is marketing. So I'm still marketing this one. I have cups and stuff I'm selling, but the marketing is I have my good days and my bad. So they was
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't put the book out because you're still trying to get this one afloat. So I sent it to Oprah. I sent it to Ellen. I sent it to what's her name?
Who?
Tyler Perry. Tyler
Tyler Perry.
Perry.
Okay.
Sent it to The View, and I'm just waiting. But it's probably not my time yet, so I'm just gonna wait patiently.
Girl, we're gonna see you on The View. You're gonna beat me to Super Soul Sunday, but that's okay. I'm right behind you.
Yes, yes, yes,
You
yes.
gonna lead the way.
Oh, I'm going. I will be there. I'm just excited. I just can't sometimes believe that my life turned out this way because this is not what I
Yeah.
planned. My plans
Yeah.
was to be RN and have a house and a dog and 2 kids. I got the 2 kids, but that's about it. But that's a good thing too. My babies, I love my babies to keep me going.
Yeah.
But
And you
yeah,
can still
so
get the
it's
house and
not
the
the way I
dog.
planned. Yeah. So
Bye,
yeah,
Mercedes. Thank you for joining me.
bye. So yeah, my plans and his plans were totally different. He kept
Hmm.
saying you got this big guy, but you thinking so small. Being an
Yes.
RN is nice, but don't you want to do something more, life changing? I'm like, sure. But when I said yes,
Absolutely.
when I tell you all
Absolutely.
broke out in my life after I said yes, because he had to build me from ground zero up to now, because he had to build my character, and he had to let me know when it's all said and done that he get the credit, because this was nothing I did on my own, nothing. So
Absolutely.
he
Where can
built
we
me from
find your
ground zero.
book?
My
Somebody's
book,
asking for a look, for a link.
I got a case of them in the house. I got a case of them in the cart, no, on Amazon.com, on BarnesandNoble.com. And if you are in New Orleans, it is at Bayou Bookstore.
What about your cups, your marketing materials? Where
Oh,
can we
I
find
have
those?
I have those. I was just playing around with them and I bought them and I love them. You pour the hot
Oh,
water in
okay,
my face
gotcha.
and what. But I have the cups. They are $15. My book is $16. Um, oh, and I have a website, LagardLenaebooks.com.
Let me put that in there. Lagarde,
Lene Books.
Large.
Lagarde. Yes.
LagardeLene.com.
LagardLenaebooks.com. I don't know why I
Book.
picked that. It's,
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Okay, I just pinned it.
thank
So
you.
people can go to the website LagardeLenaebooks.com to
Or
get a copy
Amazon.
of the book.
Or you can go to Amazon. My friend said she had a hard time on my website. I don't know why. But she said she couldn't purchase it, so she just bought it from me when I went to California. But
Okay.
if you have a hard
Okay.
time, you can do barnesandnoble.com or amazon.com.
Okay. So speaking
So
of books, give us one of your favorite books that you like to read.
I'm going to say my own. And I'm going to
Okay.
say that because not to be, stuck on myself, but
Mm-mm.
I still can't believe it. Like, I'm holding it. I didn't see this for me, so it's kind of like I can't believe it. Like, I'm a person that I tried to commit suicide twice. So if I wasn't here, I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't be talking to you guys. I wouldn't be doing anything. So I like to read my own book because it's
Wow.
just, I don't know. I just like to read my own book because it has so much motivation in it for you to just keep going. I
Wow.
read my own book.
Well, I'm so happy you were not successful because we wouldn't have met. You wouldn't have came on here and I so many other women tonight. I'm so glad that you are here and we were able to, to witness your journey going forward and
Thank you.
just to be blessed by you. That is amazing.
And it's so
Depression
oh,
is
it's so
real.
weird because I noticed that sometimes, because my life was fine before all of this. So sometimes you go through things, it's not even for you, but it's for to help somebody else.
Someone else.
So
Absolutely.
I had an event last week and I met this lady. She wanted to buy my book for a young lady that's homeless with the baby. And so
Mm,
she purchased the book and she said, I know it's late, but can we go to her hotel room? Because I really think she should meet you. So we went over there. It was about 10:30 at night. We went to her hotel room, and she was like, "If your book about God, I don't want to hear it because he got me in a situation." No, I just let her have her moment because I felt like God hated me when I was in that situation. How did I get here, God? You must hate me because every time I take 5 steps forward, you pull me back 30. So I felt like he hated me, and I didn't know where he was when I was down in the wilderness either. So I let her vent and have her little meltdown, and I let her not say, you know what, I'm not going to push it on you. Read one chapter at a time in. And so she said she'll do that. But I think I was connected with her purposely because I had a friend, Tyrone, that I drove him nuts when I was in my situation. I complained all day long. I was like, oh, God hate me. Blah, blah. And he had to listen to that. And so now I'm like, God, I'm connected to her for a purpose, and I'm hoping that I can get through to her, but I know it's going to take some time because she don't see it right now. She
right.
feel like it's his fault, but I said, well, what about the decision you made to get in this situation? You're not going to take no responsibility. And she's like,
Yeah.
well, I guess you're right. And so then I'm just really hoping that I get through to her because I really want to help her. And I feel like she's just hurting right now. And since she
Yeah.
want people to give her these handouts and to just give her everything. And see, I wasn't like that. I was self-sufficient. I didn't want the handouts. I wanted to do everything on my own. So I'm just praying and hoping that she overcome this. But right now she's angry with God, and I'm just praying that he showed her through me. Because she said, what you come here with your checks and your this and your that? And I'm like, no, I'm here to not even talk about money, my daughter. I'm here to talk about what I know he can do. I'm not going to tell
Yeah.
you something that I made up. I'm telling you
Yeah.
that I was homeless. And she just looked at me like, you was homeless? Yes. So I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you believe. My
Mhm.
job is to help non-believers believe what he can do. And that way they'll want to
Absolutely.
go to him because they see what he can do. So
Absolutely.
I'm
And
hoping
that's
that she get it.
And that's one
I'm
of the
hoping.
main reasons why I'm all about sharing our stories, and one of the main reasons why I'm doing this interview series this month. Lady
Mhm.
JP says, I'm a true believer that only 10% of what you go through in life is for you, and the other 90% is for someone else. You're absolutely
That
right.
is so
I
true. It
100%,
is.
I 100% agree with that, which is why it's so important that we need to share our testimonies and be an example
Yes.
for someone else, because that girl that you were talking to, by you telling her that you were homeless one day, so now she can see that one day she can be on top, because her
Right.
circumstances right now she can't see it. But
No.
for her to see somebody who's been where she is, now she has some motivation, right,
Hmm.
to lean a little harder on her faith. Sometimes we just need to be able to see it. We can't see
Right.
what past what's in front of us,
Oh,
and we need somebody to just share. And that's what you did. And I truly believe that you are going to be a huge blessing to her, just like you have been a blessing to us
oh,
on
thank
tonight. Thank
you.
you so much
Thank you for
for
having
saying
me.
yes. Absolutely. And we're going to do a part two, girl. When this
All
movie come
right.
out, we have to do a
Let's
part
get it.
two.
Now the movie is
Yes.
called Broken Crayon Still Color because that's what the director, she loved that quote.
Wow.
And
Broken
she is gonna be
crayons,
awesome
still color.
because they do. I may
They
have been
do.
broken, but I still can succeed. I still can get
Wow.
up and do what I have to do and become successful. So
Wow.
that's still a
I
part
love
of
it.
the movie, the book.
I
Mm.
love it. That was
So
amazing.
thank you
Thank
for the
you.
opportunity. I appreciate it. And we have to link up soon. And we
Yes,
have
we
to link
do. And we got to do something else together.
Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lene. Thank you so much for everybody who joined in tonight. I really appreciate it. If you're watching this on a replay, thank you for watching this video. Follow Lene at author_Lene right here on Instagram. Follow me at A Sister's Truth if you haven't already. Her link is below. Go and get her book, guys, because the movie is coming out. I
Oh
need you to
yeah.
go and
Oh
get her
yeah.
book.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.